All right, brace yourselves. Today we're looking at a Dodge Neon. Yeah, I know for some of you that name just triggers flashbacks of cheap rental cars, blown head gaskets, and your cousin's first car that smelled permanently of Mountain Dew and regrets. But here's the twist. This isn't your average Neon. This is a 2000 Dodge Neon ES with only 33,112 miles on it. And that's not just low for a Neon, that's low for any car from the year 2000. Most of these cars were used, abused, and crushed well before the first iPhone even came out. This one looks like it skipped 2 decades and went straight into witness protection. It still has working ice-cold AC, an interior that doesn't look like it's been sitting through a demolition derby, and the cleanest engine bay I've seen in a car that wasn't wrapped in shrink wrap since Y2K. So yeah, you might laugh at the idea of a Neon being collectible, but when you see this one, you realize it's more than just a punchline. It's a piece of turn-of-the-millennium history, and honestly, it's kind of awesome. And that's what we do here at Neighborhood Car Reviews. We don't just look at these cars as old used vehicles, we review them as if they were brand new. It's our way of digitally preserving them for the future, so even everyday cars like this Neon are remembered exactly as they were meant to be. The Neon is based on the Chrysler PL platform, and ours was built at the Belvidere Assembly Plant in Illinois in March of 1999. Hey everyone, in today's latest episode of the in-depth review series, we are traveling way back in time, 24 years, back to the year 2000. Dodge has just redesigned its Neon, the very high-selling subcompact car. And today we are taking a look at a 2000 Dodge Neon. This is an SE trim level. It is painted in flame red. It is a clear coat non-metallic paint, and it features the agate premium cloth interior. I do have full pricing on screen thanks to the addition of the original window sticker found in the glove box. So on screen is the original MSRP, complete with the options list. Today's review is going to be a full in-depth review. We're going to cover everything from the exterior to the interior, powertrain, performance, and everything else in between. Most of the press at the time lamented the outgoing 150 horsepower dual overhead cam 4-cylinder engine from the previous car, with the trade-off, if you can even call it that, coming from the 2-liter A588 single overhead cam 16-valve inline 4-cylinder engine. This engine is of cast iron block aluminum head construction and features sequential multi-port fuel injection in a 9.8-to-1 compression ratio. This engine creates 132 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 130 pound-feet of torque at 4,600 RPM. Ferraris, watch out. The automatic equipped Neon can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 10.5 seconds. 0 to 100 miles per hour comes in at pavement blistering 33 seconds, with the quarter mile hitting in at 17.5 seconds at 80 miles per hour. Top speed is electronically limited to 115 miles per hour. Like I said, watch out, Ferrari. The Neon, with its automatic gearbox, whether in Dodge or Plymouth guise, is equipped with a 12.5 US gallon fuel capacity and consumes 4.2 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of around 300 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 22 miles per gallon in the city, 28 miles per gallon on the highway, with a combined average of 24 miles per gallon. The manually equipped cars achieve better economy due to gearing and overdrive ratios. Our car is equipped with a $600 optional 3-speed Torque Flight 31TH automatic, which for the year 2000 is a bit of a dinosaur. This transmission features a lock-up torque converter but no overdrive gear. It is connected to the 3.02-to-1 axle ratio, and without the overdrive gear and a resulting higher engine RPM at speed, it wasn't as refined as the more up-to-date offerings from Ford, Toyota, or Honda competitors at the time. Steering is hydraulic power assisted with 3.8 turns lock-to-lock in a 35.5-foot turning radius, with a 16.0-to-1 overall steering ratio. Wheels are black painted 15-inch steels with silver painted wheel covers. Wheels are shod in 185/60 R15 all-season tires. Brakes are power-assisted front disc rear drums with 10.1-inch vented rotors up front and 9-inch drums in the rear. There is no ABS on this car as it was optional and came with 4-wheel disc brakes. Our brakes can halt the Neon from 70 miles per hour to 0 in about 190 feet. Now, as we walk along the rear of the car, just like I do in all my reviews, we're going to cover the rear view styling in depth. But as you can see, it is a very familiar face back here. It looks like a Neon, but it also aligns with the rest of the Dodge lineup from the 2000 era. Alrighty, looking around the rear of the second generation Neon, while you can definitely tell it's a Neon, it does have a little bit more of an upscale design and appearance to it, due to the fact that Chrysler Corporation really smoothed out a lot of the harsh lines and just made it a little bit more round. But it still carries that same Neon door line and everything like that, those sharp cutouts and everything like that. Just a small car footprint. The tail lights look very reminiscent of the first generation Neon, but like I said, they're just a little bit more rounded, to more align with the new design language that Dodge was having in the early 2000s. The trunk lid does cut out all the way down here. There's a cutout here, so it does have a low liftover height. And then of course your third brake light is here. But all the lights back here are all incandescent. You just have a solid red for your tail light, turn indicator, and brake light. The white insert is your reverse light, of course. Down below we do have the license plate mount. You also have a trunk key access, but it also has remote transmitter. This vehicle is also equipped with the rear defroster. I believe that was an option in the option package on this vehicle. And down below, we just have a single stainless steel exhaust. Also of note, in the back, it would actually have said Dodge and then Neon back here, but the badges have been either removed or fallen off. Now, as we walk along the profile of the vehicle, on screen, I do have the exterior dimensions, so you can see where this car sits in size-wise. It is a shorter car. However, the wheelbase has been extended from the previous generation, so it is a little bit larger than the outgoing original all the way up to 1999 Neon. And of course, as we walk along the front of the vehicle, we're going to cover the front end styling just like we do in the rear in depth. However, as you can see, it is a very familiar face. It looks exactly like a Neon. No surprises here. It's exactly what you would expect. Alrighty, looking around the front, that's where this car is most familiar. Even though it's been fully redesigned for the 2000 model year, it still looks very much Neon. You know exactly what you're looking at. It still has that very friendly, very happy looking car look. However, a lot more attention to detail, a lot higher build quality. We now have fold-away side view mirrors. They're kind of hard to do, but they fold away. And then nice, sleek hood design comes all the way down into the clear lens headlamps with composite reflectors. They're just halogen. Of course, the lenses have faded a little bit, but they're actually pretty smooth. Inset turn indicators, of course, highlighting back to the original Neon. And then down below, we do have fog lamps on this vehicle. We've also got our side marker lights over here. And in the center, we have the thin chrome divider ring and the Dodge logo front and center. And down below, we do have a couple of lower air intakes as well to aid in cooling. All right, now before we get inside, we're gonna check out what we have as far as the keys are concerned. It does have the Dodge dual-bladed key, and it just has the Pentastar logo on both sides. It's just a rubber gray key fob or key head. But this vehicle is actually equipped with the remote keyless entry package, so we do have a remote keyless entry transmitter, and the buttons are very simple: unlock, lock, trunk release, and your panic alarm. And it is very similar to every other key fob in the Chrysler lineup from this era. Of course, the car is already unlocked, so we're going to hop inside and check out the interior. As you can see on screen, this interior is very well kept. The only issue is the sagging headliner, but the rest of the interior looks very good. It's in excellent shape. Take a look at the door panels real quick. They are all hard plastic, unfortunately. Actually, no, I'm wrong. That is a soft touch vinyl, which is really nice in a car of this price class. But it basically ends here, and the rest of the door panel becomes hard plastic. We do have a padded armrest, and this padded seat material appears on the door as well. We do have chrome door pulls, power lock switch, power front windows. The rear windows are manual, power mirror controls. We've also got a map pocket with some carpeting down here, and of course our door speaker. In the driver's footwell, we do have the hood release, and only 2 pedals because this vehicle is equipped with the 3-speed automatic transmission. No power seats here. This is your fore and aft adjust, of course. And over here is your seat back recline. There is no adjustable lumbar support on this car. As far as the rest of the driver's side instrument panel, we just have a positional air vent. There is no interior trunk release. We do have a tilt steering wheel, and the steering wheel is actually leather wrapped, which is really nice. All right, taking a look at the seats. The seats are actually very comfortable. They are very supportive. They just have height adjustable head restraints, but the cloth is a very nice, high quality, grippy cloth. And it has some bolstering, kind of surprising actually. But overall, the interior of this car is very, very nice. It's surprising to see a neon in this good shape. Alrighty, now that we're inside, let's pan through the interior and show the rest of it. There is not a whole lot to show in here, but it's actually still a pretty nicely equipped car. Starting off with the steering wheel, it is a leather wrapped steering wheel. It's a 4-spoke design. Doesn't look very sporty at all, actually, but that is exactly how the Dodge Neon looked at the beginning. We do have the Dodge logo front and center. Of course, it also has the airbag indicator and all that kind of stuff. This vehicle is equipped with cruise control. So over here we have our off and on, and our set button here. Over here we have the rest of the buttons. So we have accelerate and resume, cancel button, and coast. There is no audio controls on the back side of the steering wheel, however. Now, Dodge actually equipped all the Neons with 2 multi-function controls. So right here we do have our headlamp control. It does feature the turn indicators and our brights. And then if you pull this part out, it turns on the fog lights, and a small fog light indicator lights up. It also features our instrument panel brightness and dim. Turning over here on the right hand side, we have the wiper washer control. All right, taking a look at the instrument cluster. The instrument cluster is more of the premium look. It is off-white face gauges, and it has 4 gauges here. We have our coolant temperature, 120 mile per hour speedometer, 8,000 RPM tach, and our fuel level. It also has a digital readout for the odometer, and yes, you are seeing that right. This 2000 Dodge Neon, at the time of the recording, only has 33,112 miles on it. Flip this button here, and it shows your trip odometer. Your 4-way flashers are here. And of note, it's kind of hard to see in here, I think, but the gauges actually light up kind of a turquoise blue. It was very, very much a Dodge thing back then. They were all like an electroluminescent blue. It's kind of hard to see here, but very easy to read at night for sure. All right, let's pan over the top of the dash, show the rest of the interior. It is just a hard plastic dash, but check it out. No cracks or anything on this. Very surprising. We do have some speakers up here in the base of the dashboard. Defroster over there, of course. Pans all the way over here to the passenger side, who has their own positional air vent, airbag cover. We've also got a locking glove box, the original window sticker, and the owner's manual, of course. And to the center of the dash, we have kind of like an odds and ends tray. If you're fortunate enough to have an SRT4 with this dashboard, this would be the turbo boost gauge. And we have this kind of textured diamond plating weave center bezel. I'm not sure when they actually added like the silver or the color keyed ones, but this is how it went for the midline. Positional air vents, air conditioning, which actually the air conditioning still works, and it works fantastic. Very simple to use, however. This is just your normal fan speed here. Turn off the whole system. And this side here is your AC controls here. Panel distribution. And I love how Dodges at the time put intervals in between. So you can have your bi-level. You can have a little bit more of the feet. About halfway, more of the feet, and then all of them. And it just kind of went that way. I love that kind of customization there. Of course, simple temperature controls here. And of course, you've also got your fresh air and your recirculate. I know on some of them, it would actually automatically flip over. I'm not really sure how it did that, but yeah, there we go. So if you had recirculate on and you went to the defroster, it would actually pull fresh air automatically. Pretty cool. Anyway, moving down. The factory AM/FM CD player, very nice. Bass, mid, and treble. Of course, you have 5 programmable presets, balance and fade, all that kind of stuff. Very easy to use. Moving the shift lever out of the way, down here we do have our control for our defroster. 12-volt power point is a 12-volt, 20 amp, and then of course we have an odds and ends tray. More storage here, cup holders, the matching bezel for the automatic transmission lever, which also has a leather wrapped shift knob. Very nice attention to detail there. Just a standard normal handbrake, but it is a proper handbrake. You've also got an additional cup holder here, a padded armrest that opens up to reveal some storage, CD storage, odds and ends, mobile phone, all that kind of stuff. One really cool thing though is if you have rear seat passengers, that flips all the way back to reveal an additional cup holder and an integrated tissue box holder. That's a nice little touch. Alrighty, taking a look overhead, we just have a simple manually dimming rearview mirror and no passenger side vanity mirrors. The passenger side also, they actually get a assist handle, and we've also got height adjustable head restraints and seat belts. Now, the driver's side did get a vanity mirror, but no illumination. All right, so that's the front portion of the Neon. Let's hop in back and check out the rear seat. All right, let's open up the rear door and check out the rear seat. Nice wide opening door, reveals seating for 5. On the higher level trims, rather than the base, but if you got the mid-level and the high level SE or ES and RT, then you had 2-position height adjustable head restraints on the rear seats. It is also a 60/40 split folding seat. Take a look at the door panels back here. Just like the front, it has a soft touch vinyl here, and it goes all the way down to the armrest and the door pulls. You still have the seat fabric here on the door, and we have our chrome plated door pull. But back here we just have a manual window. We don't have power windows back here. My 2004 SRT4 was the exact same way. There is a blank spot here. There is no storage in the door panels. Alright, let's check out the rear seat amenities. So we don't have any rear seat AC vents or anything like that. But one thing we do have is seat back mat pockets in the backs of both seats, a grocery bag style hook, and I'll show that once again. If you open up your center console, you can actually reveal a cup holder for at least one passenger back here and some tissues as well. We do have floor mats, and you can see how nice condition this car is in. As I stated before, it does have 60/40 split folding seats, but there is no center armrest. This is also before we standardized 3-point belts in the center position, so it's just a lap belt. Folding the rear seats is extremely easy. It's a one-handed job. You just pull this loop and pull the seat back forward. And if to close it, you just do the exact same thing. Oh, one other thing. The Neon had the most evil rear door ever imagined. It is a nice flowing forward design, but it has this really sharp cutout here. And even on my 04 SRT4, I accidentally knocked my head into this, and it almost sent me to the hospital. It was so bad. It was a slippery pavement, and I slipped into that. So any Neon driver probably knows what I'm talking about when they see that. But anyway, that's beside the point. let's pop the trunk now. Now there's two ways to open the trunk. You can actually just use the key fob. And you stick the key fob in here and you turn it clockwise or to the right of the car, and it'll actually open the trunk. The other way you could do it is you could just press and hold the trunk release button on the key fob. Sometimes it works on this car and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it didn't unlatch it. Anyway, that is an option anyway. Alrighty. One really nice thing about this trunk actually is the fact that it actually opens up a full 90 degrees, as you can see here. And that makes it very easy and very convenient to load luggage or anything into the trunk. The only downside, and it's just the way it was made, is these dog legs. So they can impede in luggage capacity and storage. But the Neon was always pretty well known for decent storage capacity for a car of its size, due to Dodge's very innovative cab forward design. So the interior and trunk space is incredible for a car of this size. As you can see on screen, I do have the luggage capacity. It is also a fully lined and fully carpeted area. It's also illuminated back here as well, which is really nice. Underneath the floor well, you do have your jacking instructions, a temporary spare and proper jack and tools back here. And you still have a nice load flat floor. Even the trunk lid is lined in carpet, which is a premium feature anymore. Closing the trunk is as easy as opening it. You just close it, just like that. Alrighty, and there you have it, the 2000 Dodge Neon. We hope you found the review informative, and if you did, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews. And of course, our Instagram channel at BrensoJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.